Let's talk about immigrant. And now I'm not talking about the illegal immigrant, I'm talking about the fully legal immigrant. I am an immigrant myself right now. In 2018, I went to study in Australia as an immigrant. And now I came to the US as an immigrant on a K1 visa. So I feel like I do have a say on this matter, so I want to give some opinion. First topic I want to talk about is about visa. A lot of developed countries, a lot of people in developed countries might not know about visa and how hard it is for people from developing country to get visa. Just a visa, tourist visa, it doesn't matter what type of visa, to get into your country. The immigrant that got here legally went through a screening process, like a rigorous screening process by your government. The government literally know about their bank statement, who's their mother, who's their father is, who's their sister, is that what did they do, their criminal record, and everything. They literally know everything about the person, the immigrant that comes into your country. Those immigrants. I had to go through a lot of process interview and even give them all of my informations. The government literally know everything about me, if I am a bad person or not, if I'm a good person or not. What I'm trying to say with this information is that the immigrants that got here legally are most likely not gonna do anything bad, most likely, okay? That is because they went through the rigorous visa process already. If I were to explain the visa process from developing country to come into developed country, it would be that of a job interview times 10, or maybe even times 100, honestly speaking. And what I'm trying to say is that most immigrants are very hardworking people, and they don't give up, and they are good people. Most. Now, beside the visa, let's say they passed the visa interview and everything, and they got into the country. Once they got into the country, let's say I go to study in Australia, which I did, I had to pay double the tuition. Literally double the tuition, maybe even triple the tuition in some cases, more than the local, which is kind of understandable. Yeah, but the thing is, we had to pay more. So then it all goes into the government, it all goes into your country. And we pay double, but when it times to find job, it is harder for us to find job, because in some cases the company, they don't even accept people without a green card. Let's say some company they do accept, but it's just harder for international students to find job. I just want to say we are given equal opportunity to find jobs. If anything, immigrants, it's harder for them to find job. So those immigrants that became a doctor, became a nurse, and became something, became work for a company and all of those things, they had to work so hard just to get to where they are. They don't just come here illegally and steal jobs. They had to go through all of those hard work. They had to go through the visa process. They had to study, pay the double the price, or in some case, they have to work while also studying, and then they pay all of that, the tax into your government, which you also benefits to it, which most likely the people who only hold green card or PR, they don't really benefits that much from it until they become a citizen. And in some cases, the immigrant that work for your country, pay tax for your country, never became a citizen because the government refused to give them a citizen and only give them work permit years after years after years after years, even after they did a good job as a nurse, as a doctor, or as anything. And a lot of jobs that they do are mostly jobs that a lot of people don't want to do. Example, nurses for older people, elder, or like during COVID, the most of the nurses are immigrant and they were in the front line helping people with COVID. Essentially, all of this topic that I talked about boiled down to that the immigrant that you guys want them to go back home are paying tax, living a normal life. They're just coming here to other country to get a better opportunity. Let's just share the earth with each other, and they just working with normal job. And a lot of them, most of them are good person because they had to went through the screening process of visa that the government, your government, literally put them through, where they had to tell everything about themselves, like, and everything. And they have to pay double of the tuition for a chance to get job. Like, they had to pay double the tuition, but then they have less chance of getting the job. And so if they get the job, they have to be very good. So essentially the topic, all of this boiled down to that. I just want to share immigrant perspective to the people who are living in first world country, developed country. Because it is very hard just for the people who come from a developing countries, or you call third world, which I don't want to use, to come into your countries. They have to be very good person. They had to work very hard. They have to be excelling in some part, one of the other, either through study or any other things in order to come into your countries. I'm really afraid of the domino effects. So like it's happening in riot and stuff is happening in the UK, but like I see comment on TikTok and stuff of people in other country, like even Australia or even in America, where people talking about, oh, let's let all the immigrants go back to the country and all of that. So there could be domino effects later on, and there'll be more riot and more hate on immigrant and Asian or Muslim or any of, just because we look different, honestly. So let's just chill. Don't spread any more hates. I know about from the news about what happened, but let's calm down. Don't cause more, I don't know what this called, chaos. Let's all spread love.